Hi everyone, welcome to my new channel, Daddy Knows Best. Well, don't tell mommy. I just became a dad, so I wrote a book, and I thought I'll read it out to you guys. So here we go. The Wrong Way Home by Rishi John Joseph. Here's my lovely wife and my beautiful baby. The final scan. It was just another working day in the middle of November. Your mother and I drove to the hospital to get your mother's final pregnancy scan done. We had to wait for a couple of hours, and so we decided to have a nice chicken tikka sandwich during that time. Of course, you love the sandwich too, straight from Mama. The scan showed that you were a healthy and happy baby, all set to come out of Mom's comfortable tummy. The doctor said that you were likely to be out in 2 weeks. Both Mom and I were excited and happy on hearing the news. We called all your grandparents and told them to get ready for you. Fastest way home? It was late by the time we got out of the hospital and into the car. We were really hungry. So I asked Mom to check the map to find the fastest route home. And so she did. We were familiar with the first part of the route, but hadn't trodden through the last part before. We were slightly apprehensive about taking the unfamiliar route, but as we could save 10 minutes, I decided to take it. Secretly thinking, I would take credit if it went well, else blame it on Mom if it went wrong. The journey begins. With all our stomachs grumbling the hunger, we started our journey. The first part of the trip was mainly on the highway, which had the metro going on above us. It was a pleasant and comfortable drive, with the shade from the metro line providing protection from the hot sun. We then exited from the highway into another road. The route took us past a railway crossing, where the train had just passed by, causing a small jam that eventually passed. It was smooth sailing, and the map showed that we were only another 10 minutes from home. But then, the route was familiar until we had to go past the usual left turn and instead take a left further down the road. This left was far less busy than the other roads, and it was a mud road. Mum and I, on seeing a few new houses spread apart sparingly on both sides of the road, decided to go ahead. Suddenly, at the end of the mud road, the map suggested to take a right, which took us through a narrow, muddier road with bushes and uneven ground all around. It was leading towards what looked like a small hill, which had a small opening to go to the other side. It seemed to be taking us to the middle of nowhere. Next to the railway track. I got out of the car to check what was on the other side of the hill. I came back running to the car and said, "I think you'll want to see it for yourselves." As I drove through the narrow opening, Mum's eyes widened in shock. It was basically the side of a small hill, below which was the railway track running parallelly. One wrong move, and the car would fall over onto the tracks. The maps showed that home was only 5 minutes away. It was too late to turn back now, as all of us were hungry. I saw a scooter a few yards ahead, which then sped away. This gave me confidence that maybe there was a way ahead. So we inched forward through what looked more like a trekking trail rather than a road where cars could go. The Raging Bull. As we inched forward, the bushes were closing in and the car barely had room to move forward. There was the hill on one side and a gorge on the other side, where the tracks were. The trail seemed to turn left a little, so I got out to check if there was space for the car to go. As I got out, a big bull with huge horns started chasing me. I ran as fast as I could and got back in the car as the bull rammed into the car. The car shook and everyone inside were dislodged from their seats. You started kicking violently inside Mom's tummy. I started the car and pushed against the bull and just managed to get free. But the bull chased after us and managed to get the car off balance, which sent us flying into the gorge. We held our hands together, cried in terrible fear, and prayed as we plummeted towards the railway track. Choo-choo! The car magically landed flat on the railway track with a loud thud, but miraculously, nothing happened to any of us, and the car continued moving along the track. Just as we started to breathe a sigh of relief, we heard a loud siren from behind. To our horror, a big goods train was rushing straight for us. I immediately hit the gas pedal and started moving forward, with just enough speed to stay ahead of the big train. The train driver kept blowing the horn while trying to slow down, but the train was already moving too fast. Up ahead we could see a railway crossing. We were hoping we could get away from the train there, but it was too fast. Just as the crossing came, the train nicked the car, which sent us off the railway track and crashing into the crossing gate. The car was smashed all over. Again, miraculously, we survived. You were having a ball inside Mom's tummy. Home, sweet home. We let out a sigh of relief as finally the danger seemed to have passed. Mom was still crying after the miraculous escape. She couldn't believe we survived after going through such a terrible ordeal. I tried to pacify Mom, so I stopped by the side of the road to buy some refreshing tender coconut. That is when we realized how badly the car was damaged. We then got back in the car as it slowly trudged back home. We finally reached home, having left the hospital an hour ago. We took some rest after an unbelievable day. I helped Mom cook a delicious dinner, which you enjoyed thoroughly. We got into bed and Mom started singing your favorite song. This ended your first adventure before you were even born. Well, that's the book. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And remember, Daddy knows best, but don't tell Mama.